In the distant future, Weyland-Yutani has finally accomplished their goal of capturing xenomorph specimens. But things are complicated by two factors. 1. Xenomorphs prove difficult to control. 2. They are not the only alien species around. There are also the Yautja, commonly known as predators. These sentient creatures pride themselves on their ability to hunt any prey, and the more formidable, the better. That's why they so revere xenomorphs as the ultimate prey. In fact, they sometimes breed them to populate sacred hunting grounds. The planet BG-386 was once a place like that. Now it is home to Weyland-Yutani mining colony Freya's Prospect. And in that colony there is a lab where they keep their prize, a xenomorph queen. She was once a captive of the predators and used as breeding stock. After thousands of years, little has changed. Only now it is humans that hold her chains. One in particular, Carl Bishop Weyland, a synthetic recreation of Charles Bishop Weyland, founder of Weyland Industries. Endowed with his predecessor's memories, Weyland carries on his work. Dr. Groves runs his lab and oversees the process of creating more xenomorphs. The captive queen lays eggs. The eggs hatch facehuggers, and Groves introduces those facehuggers to hapless test subjects, humans forced to become incubators. Finally, infant xenomorphs burst out of their chests and into strategically placed containers which capture the newborns. But Weyland is not content with only these young, budding bioweapons. He also has eyes for predators, specifically their tech. It is far more advanced than anything achieved by humanity, including their ability to cloak themselves and their ships. If Weyland could get his hands on it, Weyland-Yutani would have a monopoly on human commerce. Every colony, spacecraft, and weapon would be manufactured by him, purchased from him. And on BG-386, among the ancient Yautja ruins, there is hope of obtaining that technology, but it is locked away in their subterranean pyramid. No obstacle for Weyland. He has his team attempt to break through the seal. But that seal is not the only thing protecting the pyramid. His attempted breach sets off a massive electromagnetic pulse. The consequences are severe. It shuts off power at the lab, giving Specimen 6 a chance to escape. And Specimen 6 is no ordinary xenomorph. This xenomorph is clever. While the others burst out of their host's chests, flying blindly into Dr. Grove's awaiting vessels, 6 instead waited inside his host. Only when the scientist entered the room to retrieve the specimens did 6 make his exit, not from the chest, but the mouth. To prevent 6's escape, Groves gassed the room. Sure, it killed 2 scientists, but it also subdued the creatures. Weyland was captivated by 6. He had the xenomorph restrained and personally watched him grow. For weeks, he intimately observed the creature, dreaming of the biotechnical treasures hidden within it, dreaming of the wealth and power it promised. Now, thanks to that EMP, number 6, that special specimen who spent weeks in captivity by human hands, is free. 6 kills its way through the facility, freeing fellow xenomorphs along the way, including the ancient queen. The xenomorphs make their way to the refinery and turn it into a hive. And they turn BG-386 into a very dangerous place. Not just for humans, but also 5 Yautja youngbloods who chose a poor time to visit. They came hoping to prove their worth hunting xenomorphs. But even elite predators would struggle against so many. Their distress call brings a Yautja ship to the planet. Bad news for the USS Marlowe, a marine vessel that happened to be floating there too. The predators destroy that ship, then dispatch 3 elites to the planet's surface to investigate the distress call. One of those elites, named Dark in their language, is particularly effective. He kills his way through Marines to reach the Youngbloods, a task made easier by cloak and distraction technology. He makes trophies of some, ripping off their heads along with a portion of their spinal cords, repayment for violating their sacred grounds. He finds one of the young bloods dead and sets his wrist bracer to overload, ensuring the tech stays out of human hands. He sets out to find the rest, but that task is complicated by the serpents, the name predators have given to xenomorphs. On this ultimate prey, stealth tech is useless. But Dark is a skilled fighter. With or without Yautja tech, many serpents die by his blades. Meanwhile, with the USS Marlow destroyed, a nearby surviving shuttle is dispatched. Once they land and move out on the planet, between the xenomorphs and predators, it's a slaughter. So many are killed. Many by one xenomorph in particular, the one with a 6 etched on its forehead. Specimen 6 kills some of the Marines outright. Others it harvests, subduing them until a facehugger can latch on. But one rookie survives thanks to some dumb luck. The Predator's attack on the Marlow rattled their vessel, and a supply crate struck the rookie. He lost consciousness during the drop and missed most of the action. By the time he wakes up, the initial encounter is over. The other Marines are either dead or looking for a place to hole up. They're guided remotely by Acting Commander Corporal Tequila, who stays in the control room, working on getting the colony's systems back online. The rookie finds his way to her, killing a few xenomorphs along the way. Once he reaches the control room, two things happen. First, she gives him an upgrade, a pulse rifle to replace his pistol. Then she sends him back out there. The other Marines made camp at a nightclub, but now they've detected movement. There are xenomorphs nearby. The rookie is a little green, but Tequila is already impressed by his skill and sends him as backup. Given the horde of Xenos between him and the other Marines, that plasma rifle comes in handy. He kills his way through and finally reaches the camp. But there is still more killing to be done. Xenomorphs are approaching cautiously, testing their sentry guns and exploring the perimeter. Soon they cut power to the camp, and finally the creatures swarm. The rookie helps fight them off, but as casualties mount, they are forced to retreat into the sewer systems. With BG-386 rapidly descending into hell, the Marines no longer hope to secure the colony. Now they just want to make their way to the dropship pad and get a lift off this planet. The rookie charges through the sewers with a swarm of xenomorphs behind him. He closes in on the garage until one of the Xenos get a hold of him and drag him toward the mines. Meanwhile, Specimen 6 has been busy protecting the Queen, killing and harvesting its way through the mines, garage, and surrounding jungle, even destroying generators and comms equipment to sabotage the colony. Soon it finds itself among ancient Yautja ruins, where it runs into a couple of those Youngbloods. They certainly put up more of a fight than all the humans 6 has faced, but in the end, 6 slaughters them both. And when an elite predator shows up, he poses even more of a challenge. But the fight ends with that predator wearing a facehugger. And 6 is not the only one who's been wreaking havoc on Freya's prospect. There is also that predator, Dark, still killing his way through Marines and sabotaging equipment to ensure Yautja tech stays out of their hands. He finds another Youngblood along the way, and like the first, sets his wrist bracer to overload, then continues on toward the refinery. Back at the mines, the rookie Marine is still in the clutches of a xenomorph, until he shoots the monster dead and frees himself. Now he just needs to find a way out, which means killing a lot more of them. He reaches the surface and reestablishes contact with Tequila. She's impressed again at his miraculous survival and notices he's all the way out near the refinery, Major Van Zant's last known location before they lost contact. If this rookie can manually realign the dish on top of the outbuilding, she might be able to contact the Major and any other survivors. The rookie gets it done. Tequila runs the scan and gets no sign of the Major, but she does find that something is off at the refinery. Someone shut it down in a hurry, frying half the circuits. Once again, it's up to the rookie. He heads that way to investigate. Inside the refinery, he gets the router back online so Tequila can connect, which gives her access to some data showing that Carl Bishop Weyland himself was on BG-386. Whatever Weyland-Yutani is up to here must be pretty important. It seems few at the company are aware of that ancient pyramid containing Yautja tech. With the newly established connection, Tequila is also able to locate the Major, and the rookie finds him inside that Xenomorph hive. The Major knows that there's already a monster growing inside him. He begs for death, and the rookie grants his wish. Of course, the gunshot alerts the Xenomorphs to his presence, forcing the rookie to kill his way out of there. But it won't be easy. The escape route takes him to some eggs, and their source, the ancient queen. The rookie destroys her eggs and defends against facehuggers while Tequila powers up the nearby furnace. Finally, he pulls the right levers to activate it, and the queen is incinerated. In his studies of the Xenomorphs, Weyland discovered that they share some kind of hive mind. He even began to suspect their consciousness, on some level, spans their entire domain. Now, the Queen's death is felt across that domain. Specimen 6 collapses, as though struck by overwhelming pain. This gives Weyland's combat synthetics the opportunity to recapture the specimen. Per his orders, 6 is kept alive and taken off-world. Though 6 leaves behind an abomination roaming on the planet, the result of a facehugger on a predator, an organism combining the genetic code of both Xenomorph and Yautja. Dark gets a glimpse of the abomination outside the refinery. Soon he will have to face it. For now, he enters the refinery and learns the foolish humans have allowed a hive to seed. The queen may be dead, but many serpents remain. It will be his task to eradicate every last one of them. Outside the refinery, that rookie Marine, after incinerating the queen, awaits pickup. But Tequila is having a hard time pinpointing his location in the dense jungle. So he makes his way to a nearby transmitter tower, killing plenty of Xenos along the way. Once the tower is powered on, Tequila and her team make their way over on the Typhoon dropship. The rookie awaits the rescue ship and watches as it's shot down by Predator weapon fire. It seems the rookie is back on his own. He rushes out of the marsh and gets contacted on the radio by someone named Katya. She was the designated administrator for the colony. She needs some data contained in the main control building and offers a deal. If the rookie helps get power back to the building and bring the network online, she'll get him back to his friends. Of course, he gets the job done, and then as he traverses the jungle, she tells him about the data. It concerns Carl Bishop Weyland, one of the directors of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. She always knew he had a secret agenda here, but only recently learned its true extent. The rookie continues, which means killing more Xenomorphs, and now combat androids too. They are against the law, but it seems that has not stopped Weyland from employing them. Regardless, the rookie fights his way through and escapes the jungle. And the Predator Dark makes his own escape. He is still in the refinery when the reactor core is compromised, making meltdown imminent. Before leaving the collapsing facility, however, he first moves past the burning queen to discover the fate of the other elite. Like the Youngbloods, he has perished, making Dark the last survivor of this rescue mission. And as he did with the Youngbloods, he sets the elite's wrist bracer to overload, again assuring the tech stays out of human hands. And he helps himself to his fallen Hunt brother's smart disk, a weapon that will help in his next task, hunting the abomination. Dark slaughters every serpent between him and the exit. Finally, he douses the flames in his path and escapes the collapsing refinery. Next, he heads into the ruins in search of that alien-predator hybrid. Dark's leaders remind him that he is blessed to tread here within the halls of the first to hunt the serpents, their eternal enemy, their most respected prey. And they tell Dark that humans stain this sacred ground. He must find a way into the temple and stop this affront. Inside that temple, he finds an ancient mask. Wearing it reveals a recording from many centuries ago of their first victory over the serpents, and it is tuned to track those serpents, even when they lurk in darkness, something that will come in handy, especially with the new breed that's joined the fray, one that spits acid at its foes. Legend also tells of another artifact in this temple, an ancient wrist bracer containing a repository of knowledge lost to time. But it seems the humans have already taken it. Now it is Dark's task to take it back. They track its signal, and Dark heads toward the research lab to retrieve it. After he leaves the ruins, the rookie Marine enters them on Katya's instructions, a place still teeming with xenomorphs. It almost gets him killed, but he reaches the crashed dropship and a couple of Marines who fill him in. After they crashed, they were swarmed by Xenos, who dragged Tequila away. The rookie joins them in their search, but that search quickly goes sideways when they run into a predator. They're just lucky it's a Youngblood, the last of the 5, so at least they have a fighting chance. 2 of them fall, leaving the rookie to face him in a one-on-one brawl. Through constant evasion and attacking when the predator is most vulnerable while it retreats to heal itself, the rookie wins that brawl. After that, Katya picks up the signal of nearby Marines, another xenomorph nest, where the rookie finds his friends strung up in the alien biomatter, fresh incubators for the Horde. By the time he finds Tequila, she already has one of the monsters inside her, but there's still hope, if he can get her to Katya at the research lab before the parasite emerges. But there is someone who wants them to stay out, someone who wants to protect his secrets, Carl Bishop Wayland. He appears on a screen and warns them to stay out. If they leave, he'll call off his combat androids. They continue undeterred, and Tequila promises they'll make Wayland pay for unleashing this madness. They kill their way through droids and xenomorphs. They get to the lab and put Tequila on the operating table. But before Katya can operate, Wayland drains power from her facility, preventing the operation, and he reprimands Katya, a synthetic who has repeatedly disobeyed orders. Her attempt to perform this unauthorized surgery is not the first. She also sent the distress call which first brought the Marines here, something she hoped would end Wayland's nefarious research. The rookie rushes Tequila to a stasis pod. Her only hope now is to enter hypersleep until they can get her to a proper medical unit. Once she's asleep, the rookie finally meets Katya face to face. She tells him about his only hope of getting off planet. With the Colonial Marine cruiser and dropships destroyed, the only way is Wayland's personal rescue dropship, and the only way to call it is with his executive datapad, the one that can usually be found in Wayland's own hands. So the rookie heads off toward the pyramid in search of Wayland. No easy task, considering the many aliens freed by the power shutdown, including a Praetorian, one of the final stages in the xenomorph life cycle, effectively serving as a queen's royal guard. But even against this monster, the rookie is victorious. As the Marine makes his way out of the research lab, Dark arrives in search of that ancient wrist bracer. He breaks in and kills anything in his path, alien, human, or synthetic, and he retrieves artifact 6649, the wrist bracer. Next, he sets his sights on the pyramid. The rookie gets there first, and as he kills his way through more xenomorphs, Wayland is almost impressed. He invites him in, and they finally meet. That's when Wayland reveals the success he's already had pilfering Predator tech. His combat androids have cloaking abilities, and one currently has a gun to the rookie's head. The rookie surrenders his own firearm, and Wayland orders his synthetics to deal with him. Meanwhile, Dark enters the pyramid and watches another recording where he witnesses the funeral procession of their great ancestor. The first of the Serpent Queens was buried with him, and now Dark must bury the secrets of this pyramid. Yautja tech cannot fall into humanity's hands. Instead, he recovers the data and sets the pyramid to self-destruct just before he is attacked by the Abomination, that Xenomorph Yautja hybrid. As Dark battles this affront to his ancestry, the rookie proves formidable against everything Weyland throws at him. He destroys every synthetic around him, including Carl Bishop Weyland himself. And finally, the rookie helps himself to the datapad. As the pyramid comes down around him, he calls for Weyland's dropship, and outside finds Katya waiting for him as the dropship touches down behind her. Dark makes it out too, and brings with him the corpse of that abomination. A Yautja ship comes to pick him up, and he boards it a hero. And in the data he extracted from that ancient ancestor, they find the location of the Xenomorph homeworld. They set a course and take off. On the dropship, Katya and the rookie take off too, with Tequila in hypersleep, and like the Yautja, they too have some data to review, Weyland's, and in it they find the same thing.
It's everything we'd hoped. Worth waiting centuries for. The coordinates to the Xenomorph homeworld.
And elsewhere, Specimen 6 thrives. Per Weyland's orders, she'd been taken off-world for further research, but Weyland was so impressed by this specimen for her intelligence and resilience. Of course, it was never going to be that easy. By now, she's overpowered her captors, slaughtering some and using others to build a nest. Finally, she completes a metamorphosis, emerging from her cocoon as a new Xenomorph queen.